Hey, Brown Girl Banter.
Hey.
We're so excited to be with you again for another episode. Today we are talking about, can we have it all? And when we say that, we're speaking specifically to women.
Yes.
Can we have it all? So this is a conversation Lucretia and I have had maybe like every time we get together. And it definitely comes when there's a change that happens in one of our lives, right? So if one of us quits our job or has a kid or takes on a new venture, these are kind of these conversations that come, it comes up every single time. And so this conversation usually comes from a very vulnerable place because usually when I'm having it, I am, feeling not that I'm like up to par, right? In some role that I play in my life, be a mother, wife, sister, friend, counselor, educator, something. I'm feeling like I'm lacking in some area. And so I have to call Lucretia so she can help lift me back up. And so then she kind of gives me from her experience and how that has impacted her as well. And so we kind of have these discussions because that's really important. I think as women, right? We definitely sit in a different seat on the bus when it comes to having it all and what that really looks like. When it comes to men, they kind of look at it a different way as well.
Because I believe, and I had actually, it's funny, I had this conversation with my youngest sister actually today. Men see things differently. Men, I can have it all. I can be the dad, I can be the CEO, I can do all these things. Sometimes they forget that they probably usually have a spouse or a partner. Somebody is in the background making things run, making them look good in the public.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah. And I feel like we talk about this all the time because when we'll say, can we have it all? And I go, no, I don't believe you can have it all. And I say it with such a smug spirit and attitude. I need to pray about that. So I do. And Lucretia will call me like, well, why is this not enough? And why is this not enough? And I'm like, because it's not, I want more,
And I think we always want more.
We do. And I'm like, there's, it's really hard because I think we want to be the best in all the things,
everything
right?
that we do.
But in that comes sacrifice, right? And I say, when you say have it all, well, something's going to get sacrificed. If you want it to be all, then something has to get sacrificed, right? We've talked about that.
Because even as a highly educated black woman, I remember after finishing my doctorate degree, I had the whole question about, did I sacrifice relationship of being in a relationship, being a wife, being a mother, because I was pursuing my degree, I was pursuing my career. And so some people would say, did you sacrifice being in a relationship with someone or having a long-standing relationship or being a mother because you were focusing on all these things. And so that was my question. But then I have, on the other side, I have other friends in my life that they're married, they have kids, they've gone on to get their doctorate, they've got careers, and they still have the same questions.
So can you have it all? So, which emphasizes my point. No, but I think, and I hear you because I'm like, I have friends in the same predicament, right? Who are not married or don't have kids and are trying to figure out like, okay, now I'm this age doing this thing, and like, are there people out there who want to date me, or be with me, or men my age want to get married? Now,
that's a topic for another episode.
They just come out, right? And so I always say my struggle has always been like when I was working 40 plus hours a week and had the girls and was trying to be a good wife and a good mom. Good. What is good, right?
Who defines
that, right? And trying to finish up my doctorate and all of those things. I was probably a C person on average. Like on any day, I was a C. I was
you were making it. You were average. But wait a minute. C is average.
Okay, let me say this. I'm lying. That's true. I was an average wife and mother. I felt like, right? That was my interpretation of myself. I was giving all to my job. I was taking every phone call, sending out emails in the middle of the night, early morning, right? I'm up trying to write a paper. Felt like I was disappointing my chair. Like I just, so I was an average, this was the sacrifice, right? So they don't get a great mom. They get a C mom. My job gets like a B plus me or, A minus me. This doctorate, depends on the week, right? What it's getting from me. My friends, who are they? I'm not talking to y'all. I'm busy.
Yeah, because you're busy.
Right? And so I I felt like I had shortchanged my kids. I was like, man, I feel so bad for Omari. I feel so bad for the girls. I just felt like my husband and my kids were not getting the best version of me, and they deserved the best version of me. Yeah. And so I was like, something has to give, which is why a couple of years ago I decided not to work anymore and to kind of pursue private practice or other outlets for income, because I just felt like I needed to be home in that season so that they could see me and, you know, I could manage our house a particular kind of way. And so I'm like, but I know people who, you know, work all these crazy hours and have kids and have husbands and they batty. And I just was like, I can't live a batty lifestyle.
I can't be batty.
Not at all. I can't do it. And I feel like, you know, so this all, I mean, but, you know, I like working, right? Yes. But I also love my kids and my husband. Yeah. But I like going to lunch and dinner with friends, you know? And so
being able to how do you balance it? Because I hear so many women, especially women of color, of how we have to show up on our A game in every area of our lives. And then, like, when we're not on our A game, either people like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Why haven't you gotten this done?
Yes.
Why did you do this? Why? And then it's like, but I got this done over here. Like that whole overachieve. And I think sometimes it comes from our own overachievement self. Thinking like, what is it? Or getting back to really defining, what does having it all look like for me? Or what is success for me? It may not look like what everybody else defines as success. And so, like, for me, I can say, yeah, I'm not yet married. I'm not, you know, I don't have kids. But if I think about how I set my life up, for me, kids really were not something. Me giving birth to kids were not on my thing. But like I always said, and I talked about this with one of my really good friends. I said I never wanted to give birth to kids. Now adopt. Marry a man that has kids,
not a problem.
I'm cool with that because I like kids. I love other people's kids, but you know, with kids came some responsibility that for me, I didn't know if I wanted to do that because education and finding my purpose and being of service to others has always been my passion and my purpose. So I was like, would I be able to give fully to my kids and being able to do that? But you know, I had kids in my life because like my godson, he's 23 now. I got to spend time and help raise him, but that was because I didn't give birth to him, so he could go home to his mama. Somebody else could help be, you know, that mom figure to him or that aunt figure to him. So I got sometimes I say I got the best of both worlds. I got to be a mama, but I get to have a baby. So that was my thing. Yeah. But being able to do that, and then, you know, like the whole education piece, being able to, you know, go after my doctor, because it wasn't like I planned it. Like when I was in school, when I was at the University of Memphis, I was not thinking about going to get a doctorate.
Yeah,
that was not on my. But being able to do it, but I see the benefit of not having to be a wife or not having to be a mom. It helped me in my studies because I could give more to the program.
Definitely.
Even though sometimes I didn't do very well. I did some other things, like I was like going to school, working a full-time job, trying to establish my business, all of that stuff. A husband and a child my husband probably been like, girl, come back in this house.
Amen to that.
I'm like, no, we gotta do this.
Been there, done that, yes. It's hard, it is. And I think one thing I had to really come to grips with, and I'm still on the struggle bus, like to this day with, is one is kind of like culturally, like you talked about, like what pressures am I putting on myself and what pressures am I taking from my culture, you know, as an African American woman, right? Like, there is this unspoken rule of responsibility.
Yes.
My gosh, right? Like, to be, you know, to handle every problem, to fix everything, to, you know, carry all the weight of everything, right? So I have to be
the weight of everything and everybody.
And, you know, and my race, right? Because how often
Yes.
is it that something happens and we like, oh my gosh, is it a black person? Oh
Right.
my Lord. Now, why are they walking around looking like
Please
that?
don't let
oh,
it be.
no.
Don't
I
let
mean,
it be.
we own, I don't even know
We
that
own it.
person. That
Right, but
person
we
in New
own
York
it.
somewhere, but I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
We own
Lord
it.
Jesus. You know, and so not
Yeah.
only am I taking on my own stuff, but I'm also taking on my racist stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's heavy.
It is.
That's heavy. And so I think that too, you know, not only are you, you know, trying to balance everything, you're also dealing with the racial things that are happening in the society around you and owning and internalizing that.
Yeah.
I mean, what unnecessary pressure that is that, you know, we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I had to really come to grips with was season. Right?
Yes.
Like season.
Because they change and they ebb and flow.
They ebb and flow. And I was at the American Counseling Association conference, and this speaker spoke about, you know, and not all the time is there a flame for everything, right? Sometimes you got a flame on fire for being, you know, a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
And then sometimes the flame is professional development. And sometimes the flame, you know, and so like being able to understand that there'll be different seasons and different times that you'll be all into something, writing a book, hanging out with, you know, and then it'll change.
Yes.
And so I, however, have to learn flexibility, right? And vulnerability and the willingness to be able to go with the tide as it changes. I'm a loosey-goosey person. I'm kind of all over the place. But I also hold my feet to the fire a lot.
The accountability that you hold for
yes,
yourself.
to like be great.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of pressure.
Right. It does. It comes with that. And as I was listening to you talk, I was thinking about. I just finished reading this book by this lady named Rachel Hollis, and it's called "Girl Stop Apologizing." And she, in the book, she tells different stories, but she's very transparent about being able to make. She made the decision for herself. She's married, she has kids, but she said she made the decision for herself to not having to be the one that's always at the school for her kids. She was like, because I want to grow my business. She said so that was important to her. So she's trying to help other women to see it. But yeah, okay, she comes from a woman, a Caucasian woman, where she has a husband that, you know, pretty rich. She's, you know, she's made a very good name for herself. But she's helping the everyday woman to understand that you can, you know, stop apologizing for being you.
Yeah.
Stop apologizing for when you make choices to stand in your truth. And when you make those choices, but she's like, it's not all the time, but you have choice. That really what the book is about is giving yourself permission. And I think for women, especially Black women, we have to give ourselves permission.
So true.
Make a choice for self. I'm on this campaign called Choose You, and people like, that means I'm being selfish. But even with the women that I work with in my practice, I'm like, it's okay to choose you. Choosing you is important, because if you choose you, then you can show up to be able to serve other people.
Yes.
Because when you choose other people over yourself, you resent it. And you showing up janky.
Yes.
That's the old new word
Bring
that
it
I'm
back.
hearing lately. Because
Bring it
people
back.
like, you being janky. And I'm like, oh my God.
And it's so true, though. It is. When I am not the best version of me, then nobody gets anything good
Right.
from
They
me.
can't get the best version of you.
And that's so important. And so I think, like, you know, that accountability of, like, being willing to give myself grace, right?
Yes.
And I think that
That's
is my
important.
struggle bus. I mean, raise your
Give
hand. I'm
yourself
honest.
grace. Get yourself off the cross.
I got it. I mean, girl, every time I hear Erykah Badu's Bag Lady, I feel like she's talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, I got too many bags.
You hurt yourself.
I gotta get rid of some of this stuff, right? And so I think, and that's internal stuff. That's not like, you know, just in my role. So I think it's just like being willing to say, like, because people be like, well, I can't believe that you don't feel blah, blah, like, from the outside, you look like, like, what more do you need to,
But it's the conversation that you're having internally.
Yes.
It's
And
the
I'm
conversation
like,
we all have internally.
I'm like, there are things that I still want to accomplish, that I still want to do. And I think a big thing, I mean, yes, I'm not working full time, but, you know, at an agency or corporate America.
But you're working.
But I'm working. And man, don't play. Kids is a full-time job.
Yes.
Baby. Oh my gosh. Kids wear me out. I love them though. But, you know, so I think it's important to, you know, remember that in this, you know, season of have it all, you know, because what happened was there was like this lean in and break glass ceilings and do all these things, and we're like, oh gosh, okay, am I doing all the things I need to do, you know?
Yeah, and I think our society sometimes puts that on us because they're like, yeah, when you said like the lean in movement, it was like, yeah, you can do this, but you also had to think about who was projecting the lean in movement. And then, you know, the next book was option B. It was so funny when that book came out. I was having a conversation with a couple of my other friends, and we were talking, and we were like, for us, option B is option A. Girl, suck it up and keep it moving.
And keep it moving. That is what we say all the time.
Suck it up, keep it moving. That's
truth.
Option A. Option B, keep it moving.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, that is easier said than done to lean in and break these ceilings. At what cost?
Because it comes at a cost.
At what cost? And I mean, you really have to define what that looks like for you.
Yes.
And that is, and trust me, I did not come to the conclusion of like defining that in seasons on my own. I literally have Beta think they got me so straight one day. That's our group of women we hang out with, our empowerment group. Like they got me so squared away about like, hey, you know, this is the season for this. Live in that season. Here and now. Be present, you know, and appreciate that. As we teach our clients, don't judge. She a counselor judging. But it's so important. And I was like, you know, and I had to like really receive that from a vulnerable place, right? It definitely is a vulnerable place you have to receive that from. So, you know, who knows what I'll be getting into or doing, but have it all, you know, what does that mean to you?
And you have to define it for yourself.
I think that's really important.
When you think about it, it's like, what does having it all look like to you? Because that's how I had to come up with my own definitions. Like, I have it all. I'm enjoying life.
And I think when you define it, are you presenting, however, the best version of yourself in that
and
all?
that's important.
In that all,
that's
because
important.
I can have it all, and I can define it as these crazy things and goals and accomplishments.
But you said, like running around, not being the best version of yourself.
Then what good is that doing anybody?
Yeah.
So I think that's so important, and like something we all got to continue to work on. I don't know.
Oh,
maybe
we
not
continue
you.
to grow.
Right, you might have it all together, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm still working on me.
Oh, we are. As humans, that's something I want people to remember. We will not have it all at one time at 100%, because as we're continuing to evolve. Because as you pull one layer off, you like, oh Lord, here's another layer of me. So you know, it's forever. It's a forever thing. So as Dr. Patience said, give yourself some grace. Give your friends some grace.
Yes, please do. Please do. You know, live in your new normal, which is what I'm doing. I mean, some days are easy, some days are hard, but I'm definitely living in my new normal. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for having friends and loved ones to support that, you know, and to remind me of that. That's why I got Dr. Lucretia. She is here for that. Dangerfield helps me out. Be on the struggle bus, y'all.
So. We both. I'm on there.
So we are just grateful for that. I mean, so, you know, I am learning to be a new me every day.
Yeah. But we all are. I'm learning to be a new me every day in this season.
Thanks, girl.
Oh,
Thanks, Lucretia.
Oh, my goodness.
So much to me. Well, we appreciate you so much today for Brown Girl Banter. I mean, hey, we want you to get off, log off, and go define your have it all.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
What does having it all mean to you?
Yeah, and leave us some comments about it too.
Please,
We'd love to discuss
love
it.
the conversation.
Yeah. So until next time, you all have a great week. We look forward to catching up with you soon in our next episode. Talk to you soon. Bye, Brown Girl Banner.
Bye.